Good evening, Clearview. Mr. Zapp here. I want to welcome everyone back for another great school year here at Clearview. Not too many things have changed since last year, but I want to go over just a few things just to refresh everyone's memory. At the beginning of the school day, we will open up the doors at 8:30 in the morning. Students will go up to the classrooms at 8:45, and the tardy bell is going to ring at 8:50. The dismissal intent forms, I ask this every year. If you can make sure that we get those tonight before you leave, Mrs. Wentz and I will be very happy. You'll be our favorite parents. We would also be very appreciative parents if before you leave tonight you can make sure that your child's teacher has a good phone number and a good email address, just in case we would need to get in touch with you for emergency, or if teacher wants to send homework information home, let you know about testing, anything going on here at school. The car line and the bus line procedures, all that's going to be the same as it's always been. In the mornings, you're going to come into the parking lot down by where our signboard is, pull up along the sidewalk, and I'll have teachers out there, in the mornings and in the afternoons. In the afternoon, when we're sending students home, make sure that the buses come in first. Once the buses get in, then everybody can file in behind them. Now, before I get to the buses, we also have our car tags. So if you're going to be picking up, dropping off your child, make sure you get one of the car tags that you hang up in the rearview mirror. We've had in the past 3 buses. This year we're going to have 4 buses. So we will have bus number 1, bus number 4, number 5, and number 7. This will be good because it will cut down on the number of students on each bus, which will give them a little bit more room, make the ride a little bit more comfortable. It should also cut down on the how long the bus ride is as well. Now at this point in time, you should have already received your the bus card, the index card that shows you where the bus stop is and when your child will get picked up and when they'll get dropped off. If not, let the teacher know, or you can just contact Kristen Johnson directly. She's in charge of our transportation. And before I leave the bus issue, students, just make sure that when you're riding the bus, you're following all the bus rules, right? Because riding a bus is a privilege. So we need to be respectful of everyone that's on there, and you also need to follow the rules because you don't want the driver to get distracted either, okay? But I don't have to tell you guys that. You're going to be fine with that. Next thing is our PTO. Clearview has an awesome PTO. They do a lot of great work here, not only for our students and for the faculty, but also for in the community. That is headed up by Laurie Ebersol. She's our president. Marisa Wilson is the vice president. If anybody thinks that they might be interested, or you're just not sure, stop in the first meeting, see what it's all about. Our meetings are the first Tuesday of every month, and they start at 6:30. And they do a pretty good job of trying to keep the meetings to about an hour. But if you don't like meetings, you don't want to come to that doesn't mean you can't do anything with the PTO. That's fine. If you're still willing to help out, hey, they'll take all the help they can get, and you don't have to show up at the meetings, okay? But anything that you do, any of the help that you give the PTO is going to directly affect your child. So if you want to do that, get in touch with them, let your teacher know. You can tell me, whatever, but any help we can get is appreciated. Now, last year, as the year went on, we started to have a little bit of an issue with the apartment complex right across the street from where you exit the Clearview parking lot. We had some people pulling in there, some of the parents here at Clearview pulling in and taking parking spaces away from people who live there. I would ask you to not do that this year. I would really appreciate that, and I know that people living there would as well. If your child is absent, make sure that you call in. If they're not going to be in that day, let Mrs. Wentz know. And then this year, you can either send a note in when your child returns, just like you normally have done in the past, or you can go directly onto the parent portal on Firefly, and you can just fill in the excuse right there electronically. It'll come directly to us, and you don't have to worry about the backpack eating the note. It'll get to us, all right? So you have options now. Options are good. I also wanted to let you know that the website for our district, the district website, is www.hpsd.k12.pa.us. And that would be like Hanover Public School District, hpsd.k12.pa.us. There's also some websites for the for lunch accounts. If you need to fill out, go online and fill out for a free and reduced lunch, that address would be schoolcafe.com. That's, again, for the free and reduced website, you would go to www.schoolcafe.com. That's all one word. And if you want to just have the electronic account so you don't have to send money in with your child into school to pay for lunches, you would go to paschoolmeals.com. Again, that address is paschoolmeals.com. That's all one word. Our Chromebooks, second grade is going to be using Chromebooks this year. So make sure that you pay your $15 insurance fee, which is very cheap for having the use of a Chromebook. If you look around York and Adams counties, I don't think that there's any other school district that has them that cheap. So, we would appreciate that. And finally, if you have any questions about your child's immunizations, any type of medical records, medication, anything like that, Miss Deal is here, our school nurse, and you can stop down and see her before you go home tonight. With that, I know you're here to hear what the teacher has to say, check out the classroom, and you don't want to be sitting here listening to me all night. So, but I wanted to welcome everyone. Students, I'm so glad to see you back. I missed y'all summer. So we are ready for another great school year. I know everybody's ready to come back, work hard like you always do at Clearview. Parents, thank you for bringing them in. And with that, everyone have a great night.